Okay, so ESCKAZ team is doing the review for the first day of the rehearsals. It was 8 countries from the first semi-final today. So let's start with number one. Number one was Moldova. So what are your opinions about Moldova?
I think it was done really, really good. I think it's a good opener for the show. Plenty of boom. Will give a lot of people something to talk about. So really good start, I would say. Yeah.
Right. So what do you think?
I think I can agree with Dmitry. So it's very good opening act for first semi-final. But I think that some of viewers can react not too good because they have very interesting show number and active choreography, and but it's very, very strange for viewers.
The generation. Well, personally, I don't really like it, but it tastes different definitely. But for the show, they made a nice show. There is action on the stage. It's lively, it's catchy. People won't forget it, definitely. People either like it, either don't like it. So.
Well, I think it's a great opener. It's stuck in mind. So this is exactly what the number one is needed to be remembered by the end of the show. So I think Moldova is doing it in a really good direction. So that's using their chance to qualify with that. The second number was Armenia. So what do you think about Armenia?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, in terms of vocals, they've kind of won me over because I didn't think that it would work completely. But my issue that I have with it is the backdrops, and mainly the backdrops on the floor. I find them too busy. There's too much going on there, and I find it too much for them, really. I think the message of their song is more about being together, and I think they would have chosen a better approach if it was a bit more intimate than all that business around it.
Well, actually, my opinion is totally different about that. I'm not convinced about live vocals. I'm only sold out by Inga, but Tamar, Stephanie, Margin, Vahe, I'm not really impressed by the live vocals and by the blending together. But on totally different side, I'm more than impressed by the backdrop and the floor thing, because I think it's a very clever idea to do that, to not to use any props, but to use everything on the LED screens.
Don't get me wrong. I think that there are elements in it that are really great, like the map and stuff.
I think it's busy.
Well, yeah, but
I think it's part of the show.
Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't like that whole business because it detracts from what really should be about this song. And as I say, there are elements that I think that are really great, but there are others that I think that it should be more on the artist and their vocals, and that it doesn't really need that whole business.
So what will you say?
I support you because I really enjoyed the performance. I mean, the performance of the background effects and the stage effects. It's really amazing. They did a great job. Vocally, for me, it was fine. It was very good. So it's in my. I mean, in a way, yeah. So they're kind of my favorites.
Okay.
So I really like their vocals. Yes.
So three of us are sold on the vocals. Good.
So I really liked the pictures on the floor and the background of the show, but I don't like the idea. So I don't like the politic in the music show. So as we know, they changed the name of the title of the song. So that's why I don't like Armenia too much. But the song is very beautiful.
Well, we actually haven't introduced Zhenya, who is our guest expert, an expert on Swedish Melody Festival and Scandinavian music, fan from Latvia. He's doing guest blogging for us this year, so welcome, Zhenya. And the next one is today was who was that?
It's Belgium.
It's Belgium, yeah, it's Belgium, and Dimi, obviously Belgium is kind of close to you.
Yes, it is. I'm Belgian myself, so yeah, that's always looking forward to it. I'm I'm a little bit 50-50 at the moment. I don't think what we've seen has impressed me that much. I'm still in the zone where Belgium at the moment sounds better than watching it in a way. But there are elements which are really great. I kind of like the whole beaming lights effect. And the white background where the black squares and or the black dots come in. At the moment, I feel that the backing vocals and their part in the choreography are really overpowering Loic, while it should be the other way around. He should really be the focus. But I don't think what we're seeing here is quite what the end result will be. I'm still expecting something more somehow.
Because actually there is a new rule that they have to do the first rehearsal and the final outfits, but already one of the delegation came to me asking, is this the final outfit of Belgium, or why they are not doing it in their outfits? So this is a good question, because what do you think, is it the final one or not?
I'm not sure. From what I gather, his costume was going to be very unique. It was going to be black with white lining. So from what I remember seeing him wearing, I don't think that was quite what he will.
That's a bit strange to think. So why they're doing it today like that? So what Sasha will think about Belgium?
Belgium, I love the song. It's very simple. I mean, it stands out. It's fully different, totally different style. You remember it for sure if you like it or you don't like it. The stage, to my mind, the stage was a little bit empty. There was not something was missing. I cannot even say what was missing, but not the action, but kind of I don't know, maybe emotions. No.
Well, to be honest, I'm more impressed than what I thinking I would be. I really like the staging. I really like the choreography, and I really like his vocals, live vocals, compared to the studio version. Because the studio version I found a bit annoying. I didn't really like the kind of he sounded in studio, but I'm more than convinced on the way he sounded live with the help of backing vocalists. So I think it was a rather good attempt today. But it's difficult to say whether they qualify, and I'm definitely not thinking it's a favorite like some people do, calling it a favorite. But otherwise, I think it's pretty strong candidate to qualify.
The only one I like from Belgium was vocal line, the line of Loic and his backing vocalist, but the background and staging was not my piece of cake. It was really strange for me. That's why it's not my piece of cake, and they're out of my top 3 today.
Okay, the next one was Trinity from Netherlands, and we have only one girl here, so can you tell us about the fashion thing of Trinity?
Okay, I'm not sure, I'm not following the fashion, but as I can see from today's rehearsal, it's in fashion, this dress with open décolleté. So, because we had 2 participants with similar cut. About her performance, I can see that she's a perfectionist. She tries to improve her performance as much as she can. So in a way it's very, very good, but it's another ballad and I don't really like it. It's not like the best one, like to my mind.
Well, for me it was one of the weakest actually performances of the day. Well, I really appreciate what Trinity is doing, but I don't think the song is strong enough to the way the previous Dutch entrants did well. The staging is rather interesting. There are always good ideas to stage the songs in Netherlands. I'm not so sure that gets actually the mood of the song, because for me, the way they have did the staging, the way they have did the graphics and the movements, it's not like totally what I expected from the song. It's not totally fitting the mood of the song, in my opinion. So it's a bit different from what I expected.
Yeah, I agree there with you. It kind of feels now like whatever uplifting feel that there was about the song, that they're trying to take that away by dressing her in, I'm going to say, a god-awful dress. It does not suit her at all. I don't really know what the whole laced veil thing is about. It doesn't.
The idea is very difficult to get. Well,
it is, yeah. It's like, do we see a widow here who's mourning for a lover that she's not gonna get, or what is it about? It's very confusing at the moment, and I agree that it's that it's just whatever role that they had in maybe qualifying, that they're losing that little bit of hope, because it's just not coming across very well.
Oh well.
So I really like the song of Netherlands this year. Today I ranked the Netherlands for the second place so far, and it's very interesting staging. I really like the song, and I don't need something special from them during the song. As we saw, they have something special, the word love on her fingers during one of course, but I think she will qualify.
Well, okay. The next one was today Finland. Let me start with Finland. Well, I think this is the only entry that is almost 100% is a sure finalist. If we take this semi-final, because there is no way organizers and everyone is losing one of the most spoken about, most discussed bands in the finals. So I don't see there is any way for it to miss out of the finals, especially with the thing is rather narrow, because it's just 6 countries losing out and 10 proceeding in. The performance itself is actually what you expect. They deliver exactly the same that they promised. There was only addition of some smoke effects and nothing more than that. They're doing a bit of black and white thing, maybe, but it's just a straightforward performance of the pan group. You get what you want.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, there's not much really more that you can say. It does leave me a little bit with a hunger, but that is because by the time that you really get the feel of the song, it practically finishes just at that moment. But that's not something that we can help. That's just the way that the song's written. But they're confident. They're performing to their best abilities. It just does what it's supposed to do. So
Zhenya, as a Schlager fan, what would you say about Finland?
0 points from me today.
Sasha.
It's a very tough question. Like, I totally agree with you both. Like, we got what we expected. It's not my style at all, and it's the first time I heard the song from the very beginning till the end. This time it was today, so
Rather short.
yeah. It's totally not my style, not my cup of tea. Sorry.
Well, the next one was Greece. Well, I think the Greece is the best ballad. I was really surprised by its rankings, somewhere lower in the previous shows around the Europe and Scandinavia especially. Well, I think the Greece is the strongest one, and I think actually Greece they delivered typically Swedish Melodifestivalen performance tonight. It's looking really great. The vocals are amazing, and the staging is very nice. So I think it's sailing through to the finals. What do you think about it?
I think we will see Greece in the final, and as you told before, yes, we have classic wind machine from Melodifestivalen, and they have really beautiful background. And she is very strong vocalist too. So.
What will Sasha say about it?
I love Maria Elena. She's beautiful. She's talented. She has a good show. Like it's different from what we expect from Greece usually. I love that there is a piano man. It matches. It goes well together with her vocals. I love it.
yeah, she's at the top. She's my winner of today, for a various amount of reasons. First of all, in terms of the rhythm machine, I think it's very subtly done, because it kind of gives that very nice flow of her hair. She's wearing this gorgeous dress. It kind of gives this really kind of Greek goddess feel. Kind of felt like a little bit like Aphrodite was reborn, and isn't Aphrodite from Cyprus either or something? So we could see something great here. I love the blue as well. It really blends in perfectly, and in some ways I'm kind of seeing in the way that the staging is done, I'm kind of getting some flashbacks from how Austria was presented last year. There's like when the song really starts to develop, you kind of get that goosebumpy feeling, and the way that it's also reflected in that background really comes through. So Greece it's a 10 out of 10 for me really, and 100% sure they're qualifying. Yeah.
Excellent. Next one is Estonia. Dimi, what do you think about the third or fourth variant of the staging for their song? Is it better or not?
Sorry, can you?
What do you think about the different variants of the staging? They used at the national semi-final, national finalists saw that. This time, are they progressing or going to the wrong direction?
I actually, I think they're progressing. They're trying different things out. I know that they've been compared to the Netherlands last year, and now having seen it a couple of times in the rehearsals, there are certain elements that are definitely there, but I still think that they're trying to come up with their own, trying to put their own spin on it. I really like the idea of the door opening and the light coming through, and the silhouette of both of the parties. I really like that, and I like the captivating looks that they give each other. You can clearly see that there's this awkwardness. There has something happened there, and that's really important. And I just hope that they can kind of bring that over on TV. But they're progressing, and I still think that they're favourites. And if they keep it that way, they'll do pretty well, I think.
So, Shane, what do you think about Estonia do it?
I think Estonia will do well, and as we know, Estonia is one of favorite songs this year, and I think they will do well. After all 8 rehearsals, I think Estonia can take place in my top 10 of the songs of this year, because I really was disappointed with Macedonia today.
Okay, so from your fresh point of view, is Estonia a favorite?
Yes, it shares the first place with Greece. I cannot separate them because they're different, very different. You cannot just say I like Greece or I like Estonia. I like Estonia a lot. I was a little bit disappointed by the performance today because it was not perfect. I mean, the vocals. But I hope they improve it. They have time. So I really want them to qualify and to get a high points.
Well, difficult to add something because I really like Estonian entry. I really like the staging. I think they're all going to a very good direction. But the biggest problem for Estonia for me is Norway, because it depends on them being compared to each other, and I don't see both doing well. So I think this is the biggest problem for Estonia. You agree on that?
Well, it's difficult to say. I'm a bit. If I have to choose between the two, I'm in the Estonian camp, but I have presented the songs to other people who've seen the video clips of both, and they prefer Norway. So it's gonna be who comes across best.
That's what I think. So I don't think both will do well. So I think it's only room in top 5 for the one of them. Well, the next one and the last one for today was Macedonia, and it was former favorite of our Latvian fan, Zhenya.
Yes, it was one of Balkan songs which I have in my top 10, but when I saw today's rehearsal, sorry, Macedonia is out of my top 10 because I really liked the song when I saw it in national preselection. But what I saw today during rehearsal, yes, we have a very beautiful background of the song, but Daniel is perfect vocally, but the rap influence in the song, sorry.
It was a little bit hectic. They tried to do it good. They wanted to add a lot of details to make a show to impress the public, but they overdid it, I think. They mix different styles, even like these background columns with the sleeves. For me, it doesn't match. For example, Daniel's singing and the dancing of the background.
Match, yeah.
The group, it's a little bit different. So I don't really like it, to be honest.
Okay. I don't really mind the little urban influences that they put in the song. I think it kind of lends to that. I quite like it. But I'm not going to deny that there were some things going on there that didn't really work. Especially some of the dance moves. I kind of got a bit of Malta 2012 in some of the songs, so there was a bit of a shuffle going on, which I thought was maybe not quite the right move. But those are things that they can still work on. Now with Blackstreet indeed involved, it does come across a bit more as a boy band feel, which in a way I don't mind, but perhaps if we're talking about the winter, perhaps long coats, a bit more of that real boy band feel and not some cut out dance routines is maybe a bit of a better way to really make that entry work.
Well, I totally agree with what Dimi's saying about Macedonia, so exactly what I'm thinking about it. Well, it leaves some desire for the better. It can improve because they are just rehearsing for a week or something like that together. Maybe they will click, but so far they didn't. That's what I think. So the favorite, I think, Universal today was Greece. So that's the end for the day for us. We claim the Greece as a winner of our day. Thank you for watching.